Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, as well as the vast majority of crypto and finance. And I have a very interesting video to talk about today because, I've been seeing a little bit of an issue going around over on Twitter, as well as even on YouTube. And you know what? Listen, I'm not a saint myself. I have talked about price predictions around XRP for a very long time, trying to find out, where the value lies. I've drank the Kool-Aid that the Hill Capital has given out to everyone. And since then, we have come to the realization that the Hill Capital, as most people think that he is good for the space, there's a lot of misconception around this guy. I'll talk to you guys a little bit about it here in a second, but first I want to go over a few things. So one, I made a tweet the other day and I was talking about these 2020 predictions that we heard all the way up until 2021. And then after 2021, we've heard predictions all during 2022, 2023, and we'll continue to hear these price predictions. This is crypto. Speculation is healthy to an extent. Now, this was my tweet from the other day. And I said, if you were around in 2020, then you probably know of the historical XRP $20 to $30 price predictions. Everyone thought that $20 to $30 was going to happen. Although they never morphed into reality, I do believe that we will see a double-digit XRP eventually. I also believe that we will see a triple-digit XRP as well. But the question is, how long do we have to wait? I said the SEC suppressed price action greatly on XRP. I do wonder where we would be today if it weren't for the lawsuit. Thanks for protecting retail investors, right? The good news is that we still have the opportunity to accumulate under 50 cents, and we might even get a chance at 20 to 30 cents again. Today, we know that Ripple is expanding its crypto offering to institutional giants through tokenization, liquidity management, CBDC and stablecoin issuance, and much more. The XRP ledger continues to thrive with incredible development updates, user activity and growth, as well as more and more use cases. There is so much more substance behind XRP today than 2017, 2018. For example, I've heard arguments of there never being an all-time high for XRP. Again, it's ridiculous. The market cap of Bitcoin at all-time highs was just over $1 trillion, and Ethereum has over $580 billion. It's absolutely crazy to think that XRP will never be worth $500 billion to $1 trillion plus. With everything happening around the scenes, patience is a virtue. Those who see the vision will be rewarded. And as we do look at XRP, I've talked about price predictions in the past. I know that the big ones that everyone wants to know about is like the $10,000, the $30,000, the $50,000. I think just recently it ballooned to like over $100,000 for XRP. But why stop there? Why don't we just go to $1 million and then $10 million? Like, this is the problem with this space, is that, it starts small, $20 to $30, which would have been 1 trillion, which 1 trillion is fine. But you got to remember that this is going off of, just the circulating supply. And then $30 is 1.6 trillion. Now, to me, $20 to $30 is a possibility. But the question is, would we have hit those prices during 2021 if it wasn't for the lawsuit? I mean, to me, I don't know about 20 to 30. I've talked about it. I do think that, $7 to $10 was a very, very fair valuation for XRP during 2021. This would have put it at around roughly 300 and almost $64 billion to about roughly $520 billion. Again, going off of, Ethereum's market cap, I think it hit like 500 and like 80 something billion. That would have been like around $11. It's right around my $10 to $15 original prediction around XRP. Now, as I've said, I have made videos talking about XRP's price many times. I'm no saint when it comes to this. A lot of people have talked about it. As we look at what's happening around crypto, I'm going to say this. Anything is possible. Over the next couple of years, we are going to see a lot of money flow into this space. But the big thing that I want you all to understand is that a lot of the price predictions will never morph into reality. So you never want to get caught up in just a certain price around XRP. Over here, we have from the OMFIF, which is the Dialogue on World Finance and Economic Policy. It's an independent think tank for central banking, economic policy, and public investment, providing a neutral platform for public and private sector engagement worldwide. With teams in London and the US, OMFIF focuses on global policy and investment themes relating to central banks, sovereign funds, pension funds, regulators, and treasuries. Global public investors with investable assets of $43 trillion are at the heart of this network. This is an absolute massive amount of money. $43 trillion is no joke. And I even said, you know, I've been keeping an eye out on this organization because we know Ripple just expanded big into crypto custody and have been focused on tokenization with the XRP ledger. I expect this amount of money to trickle into this space over time, probably nothing. And if you guys did miss it, here you guys have from the OMFIF. We were pleased to host Andrew Whitworth of Ripple to discuss the approaches to the crypto market that regulators are taking, where consensus is emerging and the gaps that remain to be filled. And again, like as we do look at crypto regulations, yes, it's a big obstacle. It's a big obstacle holding a lot of money back. I mean, like, listen, when you go and look at, you know, OTC derivatives, I mean, this is a market that has roughly $632 trillion in it at the end of June of 2022, which was 6% above its end December 2021 value. $632 trillion is no joke. And I do think that as we do look at derivatives, they've been discussing this being tokenized for a little bit of time. We don't know if this is going to happen. You know, like when we look at $632 trillion, it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen, you know, tomorrow. It's going to happen over time. We're actually seeing $7 to $10 billion on Casper being tokenized through NFTs with patents, and it's taken time. A lot of this takes a lot of time. Listen, a lot of the things around XRP have not morphed into reality yet, but they're starting to. And it's been planned since going all the way back to like 2017, 2016, 2015. I just made a video talking about the UK and the Bank of England. Yeah, that's becoming a reality now after it was first announced back in 2017. These things take a lot of time. But also, the DTCC, the evolution and impact of tokenized securities. And this was from February of 2021, like I said, and this is big. Mainly what they want to see is this technology allow for the future to be future-proof around these, you know, assets. We do see applying innovations, including the use of DLT and tokenization, are ways to potentially help future-proof the financial services industry. Each evolution creates new business opportunities, and innovation has the potential to also create seamless synchronicity and market efficiencies. And yeah, I do think that this is not going to be a one-size-fits-all approach, meaning all of the money is not going to go over one DLT utilizing one asset. But I do think that we will see a major shift here. First off, I also think that we are at that point in time around the dot-com bubble where, you know, a lot of these companies are coming out of the woodwork, creating massive amounts of value, and all of a sudden there's nothing really behind them. I mean, look at meme coins, right? Meme coins, for an example, are a lot of those companies where there's no value behind it. They're getting these massive valuations of like $1 billion plus, and we all know at the end of the day, they're useless. So I think that we're at that same point in time around the dot-com bubble where we will see a large portion of this market get wiped out completely. And what we will see from that is the rise of the future of finance, meaning we will see XRP itself still be in the top 10 because it has been for well over a decade. It's been tried, tested, and true around financial use cases. And I do think that there's going to be a lot of value that's trickling in, and who knows, right? It could be 5, 10, 100 assets that are left over. When you have, you know, $100 trillion market, yeah, a lot of those assets could be holding a large, significant percentage of dominance over the market. Like, for example, Apple, Google, you know, Amazon, those are the companies that are holding a large amount of value over the equities markets. But also over here, we do see from November of 2021, DTCC to launch platform to digitize and modernize private markets. This was also a big deal. And it was expected to launch in early 2022, pending regulatory approval. The big key here is regulatory approval. There's a lot of money waiting on the back end of this market, you know, for regulations to be, you know, finally here. They want regulations, but the problem is that this is like a huge obstacle. But they want to have tokenization of securities. And the thing is that like this is a large amount of money. When you actually look at the securities markets, like the DTCC published their 2020 report. At that time, these were valued at $2.3 quadrillion in security transactions in just 1 year. When we look at this year, okay, well, I should say 2022, This is their most up-to-date value report. It was $2.5 quadrillion. So these continue to gain in value. Roughly, I mean, since 2020, 2 years later, you're seeing this rise about roughly almost $200 trillion worth. That's a massive amount of money. And this is a company that is centered out on tokenization, digitization. And again, it's not all going to go through one asset, but I do think that we are going to see a large amount of money, flowing through crypto. And it's going to take time. But when we do, there's going to be a lot of people that get extremely wealthy. And who knows where these prices will go? Nobody can predict the future around a lot of these prices. But I will say there's a few things that are ridiculous to mention around some of these price predictions, which I will get to here in a second. But there's a lot going on with the DTCC. We have a lot of things going on around, settlement, around CBDCs, DLT. I mean, you could read into it all day long. The amount of research that you could do on this market will drive you crazy. I'm telling you that right now. But a lot of what they are finding around these white papers are CBDC designs, which is multilateral settlement and asset encumbrance mechanisms are core functional requirements for post-trade settlement. Broader access to a digital Federal Reserve payment system could present new opportunities within the settlement bank model and drive innovation in traditional industry responsibilities, network connectivity, and design as well. Like, this is, again, around that orchestration between networks, or if you will, interoperability between networks to ensure settlement. And again, it's like all how to connect this massive network of networks to each other. And, as we do see value created here, I do think that a lot of that value is going to be moving over DLT and digital rails. I've talked about this many times. I think that as we do look at some of the values behind these companies like the DTCC, and we even look at Swift predicting, trillions will be tokenized by 2030, and even derivatives, like derivatives are a big key area of focus because this is a large amount of money. But the problem with a lot of these, values is that you'll have people out there that will say, well, that $632 trillion is going to be moved all by XRP. So let's go over here and look at what the value of XRP would be at 600. Oh, there we go. It's going to be worth 12.2K. Thank you guys for watching. Right, that's what's happening around this space. But what most people don't really realize is that you have people out there that will bet big on XRP going to 12.2K off of just a price prediction saying, hey, it's going to happen in 2023, right? And that's the big issue here, is because first off, I'm diversified outside of XRP. I have a lot of other assets that I'm holding outside of XRP. I'm even holding stocks, I'm holding gold, I'm holding silver, and I'm also holding a ton of other cryptocurrencies. And I've talked about many of them, and I've even addressed my portfolio. But a lot of it is centered out on utility gems, utility tokens. I do believe that will also help this new digital financial system, because I do believe that we are getting to that point of a digital financial system. They always call it something else, like a new digital ecosystem, if you will. All of this is going to be centered out on CBDCs and instant settlement and stable coins and things like that. And it's already happening. Like we're already kind of seeing this becoming a reality. But the thing is that as we do look at the valuation of XRP, I've said it many times, a triple digit to possibly even, 4 digits could be very possible for XRP. I mean, like, this is a $52 trillion market cap for XRP at $1,000 per. The thing is that how long would you actually have to wait for this to happen? And is this going to happen? That's the big question. Like, no one can tell you if this is going to exactly happen or not. You could predict it. You could say, hey, I think that XRP will be worth this much. But the thing is that, like, the entire market, the entire crypto market hit $3 trillion in November of 2021, right? Let's pass $10 trillion for the actual crypto market before we start talking about some of these price predictions here. Because I want to see XRP actually make a new all-time high first. I want to see XRP go to $10 first. I want to see XRP go to $50 first, then $100 first, before we're talking about $1,000, $10,000, and then like what we are seeing around the Hill Capital calling, for $100,000. But I've seen it so many times, like even over on Twitter, I seen this today, breaking Jimmy Valley, managing director of the Hill Capital. Like a lot of people utilize this title that Jimmy Valley has. This is his company. This is his company that he's running. But we do see thinks that XRP could be worth between $10,000 to $35,000 per coin after regulations and after it's determined to be the world's bridge currency. First off, we don't know if it's going to be the world's bridge currency, one. We don't know when regulations are going to happen. And I can tell you right now, what's going to cause XRP to be between $10,000 to $35,000 anyways? What creates value for XRP? What creates value for all of these assets? It's the idea that someone is willing to pay a certain price for one of these assets. Market cap technically does not matter, right? As we look at market cap, technically market cap doesn't really matter. It's how much somebody is willing to pay per, coin. As we do look at the market cap of some of these assets, like I said, like Bitcoin currently right now, if we had the market cap of Bitcoin, XRP would be worth about roughly $10 right now. That's safe to say. I think that $10 for XRP will eventually happen. I have no doubt about that. As we look at these higher valuations, it's questionable on if they will ever morph into reality in our lifetime. In our lifetime. That's the big thing there. In our lifetime. These price predictions that get thrown out, especially by Jimmy Valley, they are nonsensical. A lot of this is to create buzz, for you to know his name, for you to go research him and look at his, company and this and that. Like, it's all this like marketing tactic, if you will. If I go over to YouTube and I look up XRP to $10,000, you could see a whole bunch of YouTube videos, talking about $10,000, $35,000. I mean, here's the original clip of Jimmy Valley literally talking about $10,000 to $35,000 that almost every YouTuber around XRP utilized at one point in time and talked about it. Because again, like, it was very believable when you actually look at that time. Like, this was during 2020 and 2021. There was a lot happening during this time where you had Brad Garlinghouse meeting with the ECB, the IMF. I mean, listen, the connections are there. Do I think that XRP could be worth 100 to 1,000 to possibly, even higher? I mean, it can, but will it? No one knows. No one knows for certain. I say, like, the safest bet on XRP would be $10 to $100 per. Now, how long will we have to wait on this? I don't know. I've talked about a safe bet, like, 10 to 15 years, for it to get to like the high, hundreds, meaning like 500 to possibly even 1,000. For $10 to $100, I could say like the next 5 to 10 years possibly. But again, like, these time frames and what I'm saying does not matter. It doesn't. What matters is what the price of XRP is going to be today, tomorrow, next week, next year, 5 years from now, right? That's all that matters. When those prices actually are here, that's when it matters. For now, it's a whole bunch of nonsense, right? And again, I've talked about this many times in the past as well. Like, here's a video from 2021, December of 2021. And I even said, like, this was a warning. Like, you have to stop listening to a lot of this, because at this time we had Eleanor Tourette actually talking about, this is a Fox Business journalist and producer, talking about the Hill Capital and how he had these proposed terms for, the Fed to purchase XRP from participating token holders. Like, he wanted you to send your tokens to him. And basically he was talking about, these ESDRs valued at $37,500 per token and all this kind of stuff. And again, during the middle to the end of 2021, I was kind of drinking the Kool-Aid, but then I realized a big problem with this guy, with the Hill Capital and Jimmy Valley. And I seen it once we heard about this, where he wanted people to, send him your tokens. Like, it was ridiculous. So at this time, I was just like, all right, we need to come back down to reality. We need to understand that a lot of this is just not realistic. And I again, like, I'm not one to sit here and say like, hey, I have not made videos on this subject. I've made videos on this. In fact, my most popular videos are talking about, price predictions around XRP, because people, want these price predictions. People want, $1,000 XRP tomorrow. They want $10,000 because everyone wants to get wealthy. Everyone wants to be rich. It's not like a no-brainer thing. Like, everyone wants, to have XRP trading at, 10,000. I mean, who wouldn't want XRP trading at $10,000 tomorrow? Let me know that, right? But the thing is that, is it realistic? Is $10,000 realistic for XRP? And better yet, let's put the total supply in and let's go to $10,000. This is almost $1 quadrillion for XRP. Now again, if XRP is moving and settling all the money 24/7, 365, could it go to these prices? Yeah. But is it going to ever do that? No, it's impossible. We are going into a multi-chain future where it's not just XRP moving these, like this amount of money. It's going to be a collaborative effort. You're going to have XRP, XLM, HBAR, Casper, you name it. But there is a lot of money out there that, in my opinion, will flow into crypto. I mean, you have the DTCC settling $2.5 quadrillion a year. And this only grows. Like, this has been growing year over year. And I mean, even from 2021 to 2022, there's a significant jump here, because as you do look at 2020 to 2021, there wasn't that much of a significant jump here. It was about like $40 trillion. And all of a sudden, boom, like it changed by like 130, trillion dollars, which is pretty significant. But also like OTC derivatives, like there's a lot of money here. And I do think that crypto and blockchain technology and DLT technology is at the forefront of this, these markets. And I think that we will see crypto be the infrastructure for tomorrow's financial system, but it's not going to happen immediately. These things take time. Look at how long the SEC case has been going on around XRP, 2.5 years. These things take time, right? And it's not even the idea of like, how long will it take? It's when these things actually happen. To have something disrupted like the financial system, these things take time. You know what's crazy? ISO 20022. It's been around since like the early 2000s, and Swift is only now adopting it. 20 some years, like I think it's almost like 20 years later that they're finally adopting. Like, that's how long the evolution of the financial system takes. So during this time, the best thing that I could tell you guys is not to get caught up in dates, not to get caught up in price predictions, not to get caught up in none of this, but get caught up in the research. Get caught up in the idea that, these are companies that are actually very bullish on tokenization, and they will start to tokenize these assets at some point in time, right? And again, do not get blinded by the idea that like, hey, crypto is this technology of the future, because it really is. Like this technology is extremely large. And as we do look at XRP, yes, I believe XRP is crucial to it all. Why do you think that, we are seeing the XRP ledger being always the center point of discussion whenever we see Ripple, expand or talk about something? Institutions are very bullish on crypto. These very large companies like the DTCC, they're extremely bullish on crypto and crypto-driven use cases because they see the value tied to it. So, with that in mind, do I think that XRP is going to be worth $10,000? Do I think that Jimmy Valley is good for this space, talking about $10,000 to $35,000? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Like, you could see exactly why these people talk about it. 45,000 plus views and 621 likes. Like, people love this stuff. They eat it up. The XRP community has been talking about it for years and years and years. I mean, look at the views on some of these videos. 1 month ago, how XRP gets a $10,000 a coin. 34,000 views. This is how XRP gets a $10,000, 198,000 views. People eat this content up. Here's from 1 year ago, $10,000 per XRP explained, 123,000. Like, and again, mind you, it's not also just about the views. Like a lot of these, people like Jimmy Valley, for an example, have a lot of this content locked away behind paywalls. And that's where things really start to become a problem, because you have these people that are getting fed this nonsense, they're eating it up, and then they're going over to Jimmy Valley's website, they're buying his, private, content, they're, feeding into his actual, company. Like, it's a big issue. It's a big issue. And, the biggest problem that I see around all of it is that he's not sticking to just one price prediction. Like, I could understand if, like, maybe he thought $1,000 and $10,000 was realistic, but then it was, 35,000, 37,500, 50,000, 100,000. Like, the numbers just keep going up and up and up and up to, like, spike this dopamine release in people thinking like, oh, I'm going to be a billionaire tomorrow. Like, it's a big issue. And I really think that everyone you know, we need to think a little bit more realistic. We need to actually do a lot more research. We need to actually understand a lot around this market. And like I said, I'm not saying here that I wasn't wrong, because I was wrong. Like, listen, I drank the Kool-Aid. Everyone drank the Kool-Aid. If you heard Jimmy Valley, like Jimmy Valley has been around the space for so long. When he originally started talking about this, it was right on par with what the XRP community believed as well, which is, you know, XRP is here to be a bridge currency. It's here to bridge, you know, all the money. That's what we've been hearing for so long. And then after a while, you're like, all right, come on, this is like kind of nonsense. When you're flip-flopping around and you're saying this price prediction, that price prediction, like it's a big problem. So, you know, with that being said, you know, do I think that XRP will be extremely valuable in the future? Yes. Do I think that's going to be worth 10,000 to 35,000 to 50,000, 100? No. But I do believe that XRP right now, currently as it stands, should be valued anywhere between $7 to $10. And I think that at the all-time high, it could have been very well between $10 to $15 during 2021. You know, now that we actually look at XRP, I don't even care about what the price is going to be. I'm not selling my actual bag of XRP. I have a trade bag of XRP that I kind of trade. Currently speaking, I'm actually trying to add to that bag at around 20 to 30 cents. I have a lot of buy orders between 20 to 30 cents because it looks as though, you know, we could be seeing a little bit of a drop in that value on XRP. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, to notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join a free Discord down in the description below. This is up to you all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night, wherever you guys are on this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.